particular type or piece of legislation will you not go home without getting passed?
Well, I think the police reform bills are long overdue, and they are the initial stab at doing some things that are very necessary to protect communities of color who believe they have been unfairly treated and brutalized by the police, not only in Oregon, but in other parts of the country. We will see proposals on how arbitrators determine discipline in cases related to contracts. We're going to see movement on the duty to report and intervene when you see a colleague in law enforcement doing something wrong. You're going to see movement on the use of chokeholds, the use of tear gas for folks who are lawfully assembling. We're going to see progress on how independent investigations will be handled in the future. And again, this is the first step, and we cannot go home without making a first step towards significant changes in police accountability here in the state, including more access to public records around discipline through DPSST.
That's a very challenging question. I've never thought of it before. I think this isn't going to be our last special session, I'm convinced. I think the use of force is a big deal. You got to get a handle on that one, because that is what is the biggest monster out there in terms of that. Now, there's other issues there, but that use of force thing, I think we need to have an understanding what it is and isn't. Like, our state troopers don't use the certain holds and et cetera. I hope it's not being taught. So that is very big. I think the issue of, I think broadband is huge, because broadband, if you get it the way we should have had it some time ago, you can allow a lot of distant schools in the rural areas to be able to do learning in ways they're struggling with now. So that, plus that also affects healthcare out there, and it also affects businesses. So that is something we should not leave behind. You've got some human resource measures. You've got a measure on foster care. We're struggling with foster care mightily. And also persons with disabilities that are really struggling when they get into the hospitalization. So this session, as I say, is a three-pronged session in some ways, even that we need to look at it that way. I will say to you, and I almost said it today, I could be wrong. I can't read her mind. If we hadn't had the crisis we're now having with police, we would not be in a special session. That frustrates me, but probably I have to just tell you that, because these other issues, we should have been in special session for in dealing with them. So I think we've got critical issues here in how we communicate. We got critical issues involving children that are really getting hurt badly, that are very vulnerable. We've got real issues here with the use of force with our police force. So that is how I look at this. I don't look at this as one group of perils. And I told the caucus, we have a virus, two viruses. We have the one that's the disease, and then we have the one that involves discrimination. So I don't want to leave until we've passed some measures in each of those categories, because we've worked very hard. We know the people that need this badly. Plus, I'll tell you something else. We better not leave without doing a lot of these things, because right now we're the only government in town.